God gave Noah the rainbow sign. No more water. There will be fire next time. When I think about fire, I think about raping. I think about pillaging. I think about death and destruction. When I think of fire, I think about separation. I think about colonialism. And if one wants to understand colonialism, one must go back to where it began, the parasite, in Europe. And one of the main atrocities that happened in this time was the killing, the raping of more than 9 million women in Europe. 9 million. Of course, this was spoken of in the realm of persecutions, of the witches, of the healers, of those who didn't follow this rigid path, this rigid way of seeing the world. Those who dreamt, those who were creative, those who thought outside of the box, those who simply questioned. These beings were killed, and this is a part of the way in which the parasite of capitalism showed its head. And from there, it spread from the Spanish and Spain. And from Europe, it went to Africa. And it also went over to the Americas, right? The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. And in 1492, this is when everything shifted. In 1492 is when the Spanish came over, and they were met by the indigenous Americans, those who lived on Turtle Island. It's crazy, actually, when you look at the United States and Canada and Mexico or South America, the whole image looks like a turtle. It's crazy that the indigenous knew of this large landmass as Turtle Island far before we had radio imaging. But anyway, most of the indigenous took in their new visitors with open arms. They didn't understand the non-flow of reciprocity. They didn't understand what we know as wetiko. Wetiko is the sickness of the mind that the indigenous noticed that the white men came over with. And it is described as when one takes more than one needs. They are seen to have wetiko. It's seen as a mental illness to have the vibration of greed in one's heart, where we see our present reality. This system is run by greed. This system is run by people trying to get one up on one another, people trying to find a superior edge, people trying to survive, and not really caring about who they're stepping on, who they're killing, who and what they're destroying in the process. But it is my hope, it is my dream that we can all sort of wake up from this crazy dream. It is my hope that we can remember that we cannot do something to someone else without that same thing happening to us. We cannot point one finger of judgment because we have 3 more fingers pointing back at us. We must remember that we are all in this thing called life together. If one of us is oppressed, we are all oppressed. As one of us goes hungry or thirsty, we are all going hungry or thirsty. We have been taught this survival mechanism, this fight or flight, this competition, there's far more than enough resources on this great earth to feed, to house, to give water to each and every being on this planet alike. It just takes a choice. I've been reminded that it takes a choice. I've been reminded that we all must question. And these questions don't necessarily have to have answers, but the question will bring us movement on our quest. And where that quest is going is reminding us, or sort of having us ask the question of, who are we? Why are we here? In my opinion, these are my opinions, of course, but from what I've studied from science and studying different religions and theologies, many things point to this. We must question, because the complacent, the apathetic, the matrix life, you can get very caught in the systems of reality. You can get very caught in the schedules. You can get very caught in the machine. And when one is in a machine, one doesn't need to question. One just needs to do what they have done and go about the routine and go about playing their roles, and everyone is just doing this. But to question is to break that cycle. To question is to throw that monkey wrench into the gears. And may we continue to question. May we not be so quick to judge, but may we question to see what the roots of the problems that exist are. For example, I hear many people talking about the ghettos. I hear many people talking about crime in the ghettos and how it's dangerous and things like this. But people don't ask why the crime exists. They simply judge those who have chosen crime, not knowing anything about their experience, not knowing anything about the trials and tribulations that they face each and every day that they wake up, struggling, fighting to survive. But we judge, we compartmentalize, we create a separation. And in that separation, the same thing that colonization did, the separation, we are easily controlled. We can easily be bunched into categories and much more easily be identified and much more easily manipulated. I guess all of this is coming around to this quote by Malcolm X. He said, when you replace I with we, even illness becomes wellness. When you replace I with we, the I has taken over this world practically. We are so individualistic. We are chasing individual success, individual freedom, individual joy and happiness. But this quote, and what nature shows us, and what the universe shows us, and what love shows us, and what community shows us, what the movement shows us, is that when we come together, there's absolutely nothing that we can't do. When we come together, there is no dream that we cannot materialize. Everything exists, all of the possibilities in their entirety, simply by us coming together and making the choice. Coming together to be in harmony, to honor our differences, to see through these differences, to remember our original intentions for being here and now in this time. I am grateful. I'm grateful. I see the dawn of a new day coming. And in this new earth, I see gardens and rivers and lakes flowing abundantly. I see the waves of the ocean and cleansing airs. I see warehouses filled with gardens, sustainable design everywhere. I see smiles, I see laughter, I see joy. I see community, a diverse community. Warriors, children of the rainbow, from all walks of life, existing in harmony. I see, I believe, I know this to be true. We're just getting there one step at a time. Yeah.